He has a no-trade clause, and he has given no indication he wants the Lakers to do anything but upgrade the roster they've got, not that he wants to go anywhere.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
So that was Windy, or as he's better known as the LeBron James Whisperer. These rumors of LeBron James actually going to the Golden State Warriors are absolutely crazy. I wanted to talk about those today. We'll play a little bit more of that Windy interview a little earlier in the day. We will cover also some of the demands that have hit the internet, which basically have LeBron James saying if he's going to be traded, he wants to bring his child to work. Essentially, Bronny James would be part of a package. Look, I want to talk about this particular scenario where LeBron James potentially ends up with the Golden State Warriors. I think it's safe to say that there's definitely some smoke there. I'm not sure how much actual fire is there, but it is the topic on the NBA Rundown today. All right, new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe, and of course, like this video. Also, if you want to check us out for our audio version of the pod, that's available on Spotify as well as Apple or wherever you get your audio podcast from. Now, this particular trade, I have to say the rumors of this have been circulating certainly since last year's trading deadline. We do have confirmation that the Warriors actually did, at the very least, lob a call to the Los Angeles Lakers to actually see if there was any potential in a LeBron James trade to the Warriors last year. Now, we know that the Warriors at this point, who are 14-9, believe they have a small window left with Steph Curry, basically a 24-month window, and they want to give Steph Curry at least an opportunity to go for a fifth ring in the association before he starts to ski down the backside of Career Mountain. In terms of LeBron James at this point, look, at the end of the day, JJ Redick has already mismanaged LeBron James. He's got LeBron James actually playing a crazy 35 minutes a game. Look, I know there are some games where they're going to have LeBron James play a significant amount of minutes, but 35 minutes as the average through the season to this point is just way too much for basically anybody, especially a player that's about to turn 40 years old. At the end of the day, this scenario where LeBron James actually ends up with the Golden State Warriors is a very interesting one. But I do want to point out, and then we're going to play the complete video from Windy for you here in just a second. But I do want to point out that the best teams in the league today are actually young teams. I mean, the Thunder, the Grizzlies, the Rockets, and the Mavericks represent the top four teams in the Western Conference at this point. Being old in the NBA tends to not work. Having a collection, regardless of whether or not they're all-time great old players on your team, seems like a bit of a stretch. But I mean, if they bring in LeBron James, why not try to see if you can score the 36-year-old Kevin Durant as well? All right, I'm going to play the Brian Windhorst video for you next, and then I'm back with some final thoughts.
And I know that this is one of the most fascinating opportunities in the league. It's a delicious scenario to think about. The Warriors have dreamed of pairing LeBron with Steph Curry and Draymond Green since last year. They've made an inquiry, and it got shut down last February. That was before LeBron played with Steve Kerr and Steph Curry and won the gold medal over the summer. So they will definitely monitor the situation, and I don't think they do anything without knowing this door is locked. But I would just say with LeBron, it's up to him. He has a no-trade clause, and he has given no indication he wants the Lakers to do anything but upgrade the roster they've got, not that he wants to go anywhere.
So look, ultimately, I think where there is a little bit of smoke, there could potentially certainly be a fire at some point. And if for some reason LeBron James decides he actually wants to leave Los Angeles, the Golden State Warriors certainly would be an interesting place for him to land. We know, obviously, he was on the U.S. Olympic team with Steph Curry, as well as was coached by Steve Kerr. Now, I find this rumor, and it's one thing for the Warriors to actually lob a call. It says to the fan base, we are trying, and we're trying so hard that we're actually going to make a call that we know is probably not going to be answered at all. So it's one thing for the Warriors to actually make a call. It's a whole other thing for LeBron James, who does have a no trade clause in his contract, to actually consider leaving the lavish lifestyle that he currently has in Los Angeles for one more shot at another ring with Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. You know, there's more to this than just basketball. There's more to this than, in this particular case, than just winning chips as well. LeBron has a lot of other things going on. And as much as he would love to win another ring, the likelihood of him actually agreeing to be traded by the Los Angeles Lakers to the Golden State Warriors seems, quite frankly, a bit of a pipe dream. I think it's far more likely that the Warriors actually trade for a Cam Johnson with Dennis Schroeder than LeBron James actually ending up with the Warriors. I think it's far more likely for the Warriors to actually pull off some sort of Jimmy Butler trade. I mean, speaking of a player that is sort of skiing down the backside of career mountain, Jimmy Butler is certainly one of them. On yesterday's NBA Rundown, we actually covered the Jimmy Butler trade scenarios, which are also absolutely crazy, because when you actually look at what it would take for these teams to actually bring in Jimmy Butler, for the Warriors, for the Mavericks, and for the Houston Rockets, the scenarios are all, quite frankly, actually scary when it comes down to what they would have to give up to get Jimmy Butler. And there's no guarantee that you're going to get Jimmy Butler to sign a contract extension with you. So ultimately, it is going to be a very interesting free agency period when it really officially kicks in around December 15th. In terms of this LeBron James piece, look, if it's going to happen, it's not going to happen because Steve Kerr calls him up. It's going to happen because of the relationship that Steph Curry has actually built with LeBron, specifically during the Olympics this past summer. That right there might be the one thing that could actually make this whole scenario actually go from a pipe dream into a reality. All right, I'd love to know what your thoughts and opinions are on this particular topic. Listen, once again, if you're new to the NBA Rundown, please go and subscribe. And of course, like this video, do check out our podcast version. In case you wanted to watch the video on Spotify, you could, or you could hear the audio there, as well as Apple or wherever else you get your podcast from. For the NBA Rundown, I'm Dave DeBaugh, wishing you all a tremendous rest of your sports viewing day.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this,